A very warm good morning from me and the whole Digital Euro Association team. Everybody doesn't know me. I'm Jonas. I'm currently chairman of the Digital Euro Association, co-founder. So one of the organizers here, and super happy to welcome all of you here in Frankfurt. It's 9, and already a lot of you made it here, are sitting in the room and have joined online. So we are really happy about that. And also happy around this year's conference in particular, because it really developed nicely since last year. So just to share a few numbers, I think 320 people registered on site. We have way more also participating online. Actually, more than 50 countries and nations that participate in that, which is great for us because we always wanted to not, of course, also focus on Europe, but also look way broader, look what's happening globally. And we are happy that this is also resembled in the participation, let's say, nationalities. Also more than 70 speakers across three stages. So really, it might be a challenge for you guys to see in which room you go and what you watch, but I think good problems to have. So again, really great to have you. And maybe before we go into the topic of today, let's very briefly and really briefly tell you a little bit more about what we are doing with the Digital Euro Association here, because what we started with, basically with the mission 5 years basically ago, was to become a voice on the digital money topics, primarily around digital fiat currencies in this regard, so covering CBDCs, stablecoins, tokenized deposits, all of the sort, and really unite a broad, bring together a broad community around these topics, because it's a topic that concerns everybody of us, all stakeholders, and that's also why I'm really happy that we do see from all kind of different stakeholder groups people here today. So be it central banks with 25 central banks, regulators, banks, fintechs, crypto companies, law firms, consultant companies, all of them are here, and also members of our association. Within the association, we focus on 3 core pillars. One is education, and around education, of course, today is one example, hosting conferences, online events, having a podcast, just ensuring that our members are informed and kind of ahead of the curve when it comes to digital currencies. Then we try to build communities around that. So we really want to break out all the niches, so the not central bankers are just talking to central banks and banks talk to banks, but really break up the silos and open the dialogue, which we also aim to achieve today. And we are also engaged in a lot of public affairs topics, be it on European level, be it in a level on Germany, in other European countries, where we really try to push into some directions that also, our members are resembled and heard in these voices. Yeah, just to give you a small feeling how our community is comprised. So there are banks are part of it, fintechs. We have a few central banks as members. We have strategic partners, be it Digital Dollar Project in the US or some other folks in Asia. So again, we are particularly focused and keen on Europe, but we think it's important to share experiences globally, to come together from across the globe. And we are really thrilled that more than, as said, 50 nations are part of this conference. But before we go into the topic for today, we also are super excited because we have a few announcements to make, as always, at this conference, because we have been growing in the past year and have a few partnerships that we want to announce today, where we are, again, really excited and have all of the companies with us today. Number 1 is Accenture. So recently Accenture became a part of the Digital Euro Association here as one of the leading companies when it comes to IT implementing, also having a lot of initiatives and projects engagement when it comes to digital currencies, primarily in the context of retail CBDC. That's number 1.
Yeah, very warm welcome from my side also. I'm happy to see all these faces, familiar faces and new faces in the community. I would like to announce a new invest has been part of the wholesale settlement trials also, and a very big player in the digital money sphere. So we are happy to have you on board.
And number 3, last but not least, KPMG. Also, again, super excited to have KPMG as a key player in the space with us. So you see, we are basically growing as a community. This conference is growing. But this is kind of the scene for where we are today.
So Jonas, why do you think the community is growing like this?
Well, I think, there's just so much stuff happening. So if you look into stablecoins, for example, in Europe, we now do have the markets and crypto assets regulation live So basically one of the first uniform, harmonized regulation which provides clarity in the legal context.
But it was quite complicated, right?
It was complicated. Like Germany was a little bit late to the game, so we knew there were elections in Germany, and it was, wow, a lot of pressure before Christmas to get this implementation law in place, right? So that was quite an effort, but the Germans made it, luckily.
The French were very fast, right? And that's why Circulus there also got the license, and we have the first stablecoin, micro-regulated stablecoin, also in Europe now.
Actually, yes, we do. And at Circle, and also a few more initiatives are going on. And for yesterday's conference, we heard also a lot about BaFin, and there are also stablecoin initiatives coming out of Europe. So AllUnity being an example, who's also soon coming and launching here, also out of Germany. And they are also part of the conference. And of course, they are more stablecoin issuers. So a lot of initiatives and excitement around stablecoins.
We will hear about that today during the day. So check our agenda if you are interested in the development of the stablecoins today. Why is that? Why do we have these stablecoins? Why is that so important, and what else is happening? Besides the stablecoins, we saw a speedy progress with wholesale settlements on DLT. 2 years ago, we didn't expect at all that the ECB is looking into the topic of wholesale CBDC, because they were really focusing on retail CBDC and at least talking about it also.
But a lot of fuss and a lot of interest from the market, right?
And suddenly, yes, they started to say, well, we are having experimentation and trials. And not only they saw that it's going to happening, also the market participants, 64 market participants participated in the trials, with 40 trials. And you saw a very, very big interest in settling in wholesale, in digital central bank currencies.
And I mean, we do see that also another phase has been announced recently by the ECB, right? So there will be even more traction, more initiatives.
We will have a short-term version soon, that's what the ECB said, to have wholesale settlement possibilities in central bank digital currencies. And that's something, I guess, we didn't expect last year, that we will see a European wholesale CBDC probably soon, or the first steps into that, right?
And what about the elephant in the room, the digital euro, so the retail digital euro? What did we see there?
Well, I guess there was some progress made also. Even though if it didn't happen with the legislative proposal, what we were all hoping in the past 1.5 years, we didn't see anything yet coming, but we have a new rapporteur, Fernando Navarrete. I hope I pronounce his name rightly. And we hope that he's going to hurry up with the proposal, because we want to have a decision in October, right?
And it's also getting a more geopolitical topic here, right? If we look at the US, what's happening there.
True.
So.
But I think the ECB has been doing a lot of progress on the digital euro, because we see that the rulebook has been developing very fast. We will see an almost final version of the rulebook, I guess, this year. Besides, we saw a lot of work streams where they invited market participants to participate on the development of the digital euro infrastructure and to get feedback of the market. And they even announced innovation partnerships and asked people to participate in innovation partnerships on conditional payments. And that was something we didn't expect at all, right? The digital euro and conditional payments, how does that come together?
And it's great that you also, the market is involved, right? So it's not just central banks doing things, right? But it's also the industry is on board of that, and you know, private sector consultancies, where a lot of them are here today.
Yeah,
so definitely a good step.
So it's going to be involving the industry. Is there something else coming from the industry?
I mean, the last one is really tokenized deposits, right? So that's kind of the fourth version, let's say, of this digital fiat currencies. And here also progress was made. So if we look into initiatives, there are a few ones, for example, where a DC Bank is involved, or also Partior, who's also supporting this conference, who's also working a lot on tokenized deposits. We also do have central banks actually here that experiment more, like in Korea, on topic of tokenized deposits. So also progress here. But of course, from my perspective, this is something that is still, if you compare this to stablecoins, to host a CBDC, a little bit, you know, more in the pilot stages, at least from my understanding. But this is also something we hear today about in the agenda, you know, where are the hurdles, where are benefits. So you can be excited for the day ahead.
In 2025, I guess, in the digital money sphere, I guess we will see a lot of development in 2025. And yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Yes, so this year will be exciting. I mean, I'm also saying this every year, but this year I also mean it. I'm really looking forward to that. No, I'm just kidding. But you see, for today, so the topics we discussed, that's all covered in today's agenda. So wholesale, CBDC, retail CBDC, tokenized deposits, stablecoins, also tokenization in general. And we do have 3 different stages for you today. So you're here in Frankfurt, the on-site people here in the main stage, where we cover a lot of the discussions. We do have the innovation room, where a lot of deep dives are happening when you look into practical insights, into tech solutions, into insights from central bank pioneering experiments, if you will. And lastly, we also do have, and this is new this year, a roundtable room where we basically do have more informal discussions. So it's very important to mention that the main stage also for all of you and the innovation room will be recorded. So this means you can, if you don't know where to go, you can basically watch it at home again. In this sense, but the roundtable room is not, and we also decided that because a lot of people approached us yesterday, the last days, and said, I didn't, register for the roundtable, but I still I'm very keen, I wanna participate. So what we said is we do have some spots left for some roundtables that you can participate still if you like. So again, for these roundtables, and Marcel will also tell you more about this later, if you want to go to these roundtables, you have to go to the check-in desk and basically put in your name, and then you are on the list and can also join the roundtables, at least the one that are not fully booked. So if you want to do this, of course, please don't do it now, do it in a break, but you have the opportunity to do this in that regard. Good. I hope I didn't forget a lot. So I think we are also very good on time now. So it's really great to see the room now. Getting more and more packed at this very early hour. So great to see. Thank you all for the interest and this conference. I'm sure it will be exciting. Have a lot of good discussions. And lastly, I would like to hand over to Marcel Kaiser, who is the moderator today, third year in a row. It's always a pleasure to have you, Marcel. You will bring us through the day. And enjoy, have a good time, have good discussions, and we hope you like the conference. Thank you so much.
Yeah, happy conference.